All right, Shalom. Before I start, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all the elect Akim, Wa'akwath, learning, teaching, truth, and sincerity. All right, this is going to be another modern day madness and prophecies. And I got a new format. I went and used some brain power, and I'm going to dedicate a whole account just for these videos. So like, this is my backup account. I'm gonna just have these videos, it makes life easier, and that way it just makes life easier, So this is your brother Malak from GMS Detroit. Just got a series of clips of what's hot and popping in Babylon. All right, everyone knows about the SVB failure, Silicon Valley Bank failure. All that news and mess is all about, and still hot and popular. So let's see. This one guy made some statements about the Federal Reserve, which is very true. Ain't only thing federal about the Federal Reserve is the first word in it. That's it.
In your book, The Creature from Jekyll Island, what is the Federal Reserve, and what is your answer?
Well, what it is, it's a cartel. It's not a government agency. It has the appearance of it being a government agency, and they went to great lengths to give it that facade. It does have the power of government because Congress voted to give the power of enforcement to it. But in its essence, underneath it, it's a cartel. It's nothing different than a banana cartel or an oil cartel or sugar cartel. It happens to be a banking cartel. They got together, they drew up the rules and regulations for their own industry. To self-regulate their own industry is what cartels do. And then they sent it to Congress, and they took off the label at the top that said banking cartel, and they erased that, and they said Federal Reserve Act. Congress passed it into law, and that's why we think it's a government agency, is because if you don't obey the rules that they set down for their own industry, you go to prison. And so it looks like a government agency.
And what should be done in your view with the Fed?
The Fed needs to be abolished. There's no other way around it. You cannot take the power to create money out of nothing and give it to men and expect that power not to corrupt those men. I don't care whether they're bankers or politicians. You give that power to anybody, eventually they will be corrupted by it. It's not politically possible now because the average person doesn't understand it.
All right, so right there, he's making good points. The average person doesn't truly understand what the Federal Reserve is about, came about, and he calls it the monster creature from Jekyll Island. Matter of fact, let's do this real quick. All you gotta do is type in Federal Reserve Jekyll Island. All right, there's several books about it, just to see when it came about. It says the meeting at Jekyll Island, November 20th, 1910 to November 30th, 1910. A secret gathering at a scheduled island off the coast of Georgia in 1910 laid the foundations for the Federal Reserve System. All right, and I specifically wanted this just to show you the date and when and where this meeting took place. You can go through all kinds of articles. The name of this one is Federal Reserve History. So this ain't, we're not just a bunch of bugged out conspiracy theorists. And the premises of this system, it's taking your money that isn't real. All right. Well, first off, it's using this false money system. All right. Overtaxing, running through your check, and it's even unconstitutional. But more importantly, it's unbiblical. All right. And this man Edom, this is how he likes to operate. He's laying heavy taxes on everybody, which is going to result in turmoil and chaos. Okay, here we go. Proverbs 20 and 23. We'll deal with this one. It says, diverse weights are an abomination unto Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, and a false balance is not good. So here it is. This man went and created this mythical money out of midair, like the guy was saying. It's not backed by silver, nor is it backed by gold. And when you keep printing out too much of it, you devalue it in and of itself. All right, so he's fueling the own crash of his economy. All right, and Esau deals with usury, which is what? Taxes, tribute, interest. He doesn't deal with money fairly, and this is all going to culminate in the economic collapse. And there's many whistleblowers that have been telling it. And the average simple American, the average nigga, he still think of them little green bucks is something to kill for. So let's come back. Let's go. You know what? This clip will help. This next clip will help show you what's going to happen when chaos breaks.
This is not your fucking house! Let's go away! What the fuck?
Fucking fight! I want my money for the money.
This is not the right house! This is not the right
Oh
house!
shit! Where is he?
Who are you looking for?
Where is he?
Who are you looking for?
Get out here now!
Who are you looking for?
Where is he?
Let's go. The cops will handle it. Let's go.
Where is he?
I have
Who?
him on video.
Who?
Where is he?
Brother.
Your brother.
I don't have a brother! I don't have a
You
brother!
might be at the wrong house.
Who are you looking for?
What's his name, Haley?
What's his name?
I am so sorry.
Hold on.
He hit my daughter with a car after
Hit my door with a fucking car.
So basically, this guy came busting into the wrong house. But I'm just pulling this to show you, y'all. This is the type of spirit that, motherfuckers gonna be on. Ain't gonna be no police. Motherfuckers gonna be running up in the spot. And you're gonna have a couple seconds to try to hurry up and do something. Otherwise, you're getting overran. Alright, and what scriptures show you this? Alright, let's get 2 Esdras 15. Read it earlier, alright? Apparently, he busted in there looking for some guy who hit his daughter or whatever. But like I said, I'm just showing you, the times that we in, y'all. Motherfuckers gonna be busting that door. Gonna be knocking the door off people's hinges. Alright. 2 Esdras 15 and 19. Alright. Not too long ago in America, something like that wouldn't have happened. You would not have had to have worried about a guy beating up your daughter. Why? Because your daughter wouldn't have had no random ass boyfriend. She'd have been married off to her husband. She wouldn't be playing patty cake with Pookies and Ray Rays and whatnot. Everything ties back to the wickedness that's going on. This place will crumble, and it will crumble horrifically, painfully, and violently. 2 Esdras 15 and 18. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Alright? So if that man was willing to do that, just because he's trying to figure out who may have hurt his daughter, what do you think people are going to do when there's no food? When the money that the Federal Reserve Bank has been providing, when that all fails, no more job, no more electricity, it's going to be to the max. And you holding a camera up to record it and telling them, I'm going to call the police, that's not going to make nobody stop. No. That's going to make them come hurry up and put your light out. All right?
This is not your fucking house! Go away!
You can hear the guy holding the phone, how he's scared. I believe he's a homosexual. I wouldn't have been holding record nothing. Nigga come busting through, we gonna have to get it how we live. All right. The whole mindset of I will call the police to help me, that's gonna be gone.
What the fuck?
Fucking fight! I want my money for the money.
This is not the right house! This is not the right
Oh
house!
shit! Where is he?
Who are you looking for?
Where is he?
Who are you looking for?
Get out here now!
Who are you looking for?
Where is he?
The people who cannot defend themselves are gonna be down bad. All right, simple as that. All right, next couple of clips. I'm gonna play these two actually.
Bart, then maybe you know a way out.
Way out, my colleague, is through the entrance. It's time to get out of this game. Way out.
If you're so smart, then maybe you know a way out.
The way out, my colleague, is through the entrance. It's time to get out of this game. Look, yeah, we have money, and what good does it do? There is nothing for us to do in this country. The number of alcoholics and morons is larger than the whole population. It's a polluted education doesn't exist, and that new auto plant is not real. There's no other way than to leave and wipe this nightmare from our brains.
Leave? And who's gonna let you do this? You'll never forget this nightmare because it won't ever let you wake up. Don't lie to yourself. Don't be like the others. You're in a trap, and the trap will only open its jaws once you are good and deceased. See, you're like a hamster on a wheel. No freedom to be seen while the system rolls right on. If you're so smart, then
Hey, and this cartoon goes to show you how people are out here feeling. People want to escape the system, but they can't. Esau has created a system, a trap, a matrix, y'all. A snare. The 9 to 5. Wake up, go to work, eventually die. Kids being raised by the government. Foods polluted. Your woman polluted. You yourself polluted. Children polluted. Minds, thoughts polluted. Everything. Sex sells, cigarettes, weed, everything. It's a big sick joke, and the world is mourning. So what does that mean? That means the wicked is ruling. Proverbs, go back to it. Real basic, simple scriptures. I'm just getting verses for these videos that we've came across. Is it the 24th chapter? Let's do this. Slakia, y'all. 29. Yep, should have known. Proverbs 29 and 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. All right? People are mourning because they feel the American dream has now become a nightmare, like he said in that cartoon. I got another clip to go with it as well. People are, let me see, right here. All right, and ultimately this is going to be coming soon. This hasn't been fully fulfilled yet. You know, America has to be, you know, the turmoil, chaos, martial law, all that's going to be popping up. But we're starting to see it on a spiritual level. Isaiah 24 and 10, the city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. There is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is dark and the mirth of the land is gone. That's the main point I'm dealing with. The mirth of the land is gone. There's no joy. People are crying for wine. They want good old America back. The entertainment, the fun, the good old days. The two cars in a garage old days. You know, Leave It to Beaver old days. All right, Evil Knievel old days. But that's gone. Next clip. We in the middle. Hey, Esau has set a pit for every damn body.
The Matrix is.
What is the Matrix? What is the Matrix?
The Matrix is everywhere, and we're all part of it. It doesn't matter where you're from, because we all hear the same things. It starts with go to college, get a degree, be in debt, work a 9 to 5 that you hate for 30, 40 years, buy a house, save for retirement, and when you're 60 years old, now you can enjoy life. And the next generation repeats the cycle. Now my question to you is this. Who came up with this script?
What is the Matrix?
And now, y'all, we were originally created, you know, set down here on this earth to enjoy it. But due to, you know, the great transgression, or the original sin, as certain people will call it, you know, Adam was enticed by way of Eve. Basically, getting up and working your whole life until you die, that's actually a curse going back to Genesis. And now what Esau has done is capitalize on that. He's taken that curse that's upon all of humanity at this point, and he sets up at the top of it to reap the rewards. All right, matter of fact, we'll do this. Genesis, because, you know, this is even bigger than E at this point, which ultimately he has to go down because he's facilitating a wicked system, don't get me wrong. But this is a curse that ultimately, y'all, and this is going to be lifted in the kingdom for us, the Israelites. You know, fuck these heathen. The heathen going to be serving and serving. All right. You know, after that first 1,000 years, it'll be lightened. But us, the Israelites, y'all, we ain't going to never have to be under tribute, slavery, usury, none of that. Genesis 3 and 19. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return unto the ground. For out of it wast thou taken, for dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return. All right. It says in the sweat of thy face, meaning what? You're going to have to get out here and work for a living. It didn't used to be like that. It didn't used to be like that. Now look at everybody. Do y'all see what sin does? And now you got E sitting up on the top, setting all the rules and regulations, just making it even worse. Because at least back in the day, you could just get out here and just be a farmer, be a blacksmith, be a carpenter. Now you got to wake up, go to his schooling, laws, speed limit, seat belt, just goofy, just goofy stuff, goofy nonsense. All right, he's made the human experience, the of it is garbage now. Scripture I'm looking for. Let me see. Where is it at? Okay. This is what people are waiting on right here. Even the heathen want to get out of this. Even E wants to get out of his own system that his higher ups have created. It says that thou should take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. All right. So eventually, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is going to break this wicked man's system that he has over us, and primarily in the beginning with the elect of the nation of Israel, because that's who all this is about. The righteous, the innocent blood is crying out, and eventually the cry will be heard. All right, and the righteous shall be delivered, because this format of living, y'all, this shit is going, like right now I'm on my way. I have to do this video while I'm driving, because I simply, the time in the day just ain't there. You got to work.
What is the matrix?
Brothers working 10, 12, 16, 18 hours, get off. Now if some brothers don't exercise, but you should. You go to the gym, that's going to be at least 2 hours knocked off. By the time you get home, you still got to study, read if you wasn't doing it throughout the day at work. If you got, one of the type of jobs where maybe you can, sneak off for 10, 15 minutes at a time, and by the time you're done doing all that, you got 4.5 hours to go to sleep, man. That's not living. All right, come on.
The pipe that everybody's drinking water goes through.
So apparently this is what pipes look like that our faucet water has to go through. Recently, y'all, honestly, I've been finding myself, especially all this chemical spill shit, I just been buying my water, man. And I know brothers that know me, y'all will scoff me. Hey, I'm on the water buying team now. Fuck it. I'm gonna have to stray away from the faucet. This shit's killing everybody, y'all. This shit, and E knows that this is contaminated. Matter of fact, in Flint, about an hour from here in Detroit, was where the water, that rusty, filthy water, that epidemic had happened a couple years back. Actually, I got family that lives in Flint. They were telling me, basically fucking brown liquid was coming out the faucets. They had to completely buy water, by the boatloads. And whose fault is this? Once again, E.
All the pesticides and herbicides show up in water supply. You have pharmaceuticals now in the water, endocrine disruptors, a myriad of chemicals. You have industrial chemicals. So if we take all these contaminants, how many are there? Well, there's over 100. Over 100 that could be in a municipal water supply. And there's probably another 150 that are recognized, but Congress has not released them into the standards.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
And this is a pipe.
So I'm just holding it right here so y'all can see this pipe. That looks like, the inside of someone's nose cavity. We shouldn't be getting no water coming through, none of that. But once again, who are we dealing with? E. He has defiled the earth. And in defiling our earth, all the inhabitants are defiled. Literally, it's no mystery. These bodies that we are inhabiting in this last generation are the weakest, frailest, and most susceptible to death and disease. This man has been breaking down our immune systems and whatnot strategically for decades now. All right, he's a monster. He's a monster, Mr. Grinch. This nigga a demon, man. Come on.
Everybody's drinking.
Right here. All right. We'll start Sirach 19 and 26. It says, there's a wicked man there's a wicked man that hangeth down his head sadly, but inwardly he is full of deceit, casting down his countenance and making as if he heard not. Where he is not known, he will do thee mischief. He will do thee a mischief before thou be aware. All right. And by the time a motherfucker has the symptoms of all the things, of all that stuff in your body, you're already dead and on your way out. You know, what's one of the, y'all remember the mesothelioma commercials? If you have contracted mesothelioma between the years of 1984 and the year 2000, please contact such and such. You may be eligible for such and such. You know, speaking quick with a low voice, because this nigga didn't contract you. And mesothelioma, if I remember correctly, is lung cancer. Basically, asbestos fibers that will cling to your lungs and you can't get them out. If you have mesothelioma, there's about a 95% chance you're gonna die. Those fibers get into your lungs. Eventually, it gets to the point where you can't fucking breathe. You die. All right, it feels like you're getting stabbed in the lungs. Not a good way to go. But this guy E, you know, he put asbestos. That's how it's spelled. Actually, if you saw it, he done lined buildings with the shit, so people breathed it in years and years on decades, not knowing that you're breathing in the very same thing that's going to kill you. This is how this guy works with all his things, all his chemicals, all the plants, the food. You know, he has laid death traps under everyone's feet, and when you look up, it's too late because you're dead. All right, so that's about it. You know, just wanted to highlight some of these clips, see what's going on in the world. The information, so much information being brought to the YouTubes, or not to YouTube, to the internet. You know, being brought out up in the world by way of the internet. Something always going on. All right, so I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashum, Yahweh Shai, Bahashum, Rakak Kodash, the honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all like the Akim wa Akwath, learning, teaching, truth, and sincerity. Shalom.